Can I have more kick drum, please?
Can I have more bass, please?
Drummer, kick drum, okay? Just kick drum.
Can I have more music, please, in my ears?
Jamie, I said sing a scale, C major scale. Get fucking to it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and welcome to the Jam About Town podcast, the podcast where two musicians who know nothing about geography talk about a new town each week that they've most likely never been to. Hello and welcome, I'm here with Jamie Wilkinson.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing? How are you, James?
I am okay as usual. Nothing to report. You?
Yeah, same here. We went for another bike ride, didn't we?
We did. It was a crazy one this time. We went up it was a 2 kilometre hill, didn't we?
It was, yeah, and I walked about 1.8 kilometres of it.
You loved every minute of it, didn't you?
Oh, I did. Once we got to the top, I was all right. It was just my hay fever to worry about.
Oh, yeah, you were crying downhill, weren't you?
I was, yeah. I had to shout. I was like, guys, stop, I can't see.
25-degree heat as well. That was a good idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great, with not much wind either.
And no food. Well, you had food, but we didn't have food.
I had a little sweaty peanut butter sandwich.
Oh, don't
Sweaty.
get me going.
Yeah. So welcome to your weekly dose of unmitigated escapism that is desired by many, wouldn't you say, James, at the moment?
Yeah, I would say so. So many people. Yeah, basically what we're saying, that's a fancy way of saying your weekly worth of crap.
Exactly, yeah.
From us.
I think we need to get away from the world for an hour and a bit.
Exactly.
Don't
exactly.
we?
Exactly. We're sort of starting off each podcast at the moment with our new section, Cut Short. And Cut Short is the section where we people send in where they've got cut short in places and maybe have weed or pooed in some interesting situations. And usually when you get cut short, it's because you're breaking your routine or travelling somewhere new, like a new town or city.
There you go.
And that's exactly the case with this week's anonymous story that I have been sent in.
I cannot wait for this.
And I am so pumped about this week's one. It is absolutely brilliant. I got told it yesterday via a phone call, and it is so good. It's quite long.
Yeah.
And it's anonymous, and I'm going to call that person
Gornad.
Okay.
Gornad.
So this story has been sent in by
Gornad.
So now Gornad was on a holiday in Corfu with his girlfriend and had a lovely routine of eating breakfast and drinking a coffee each morning at the hotel.
As you do.
Okay?
Yeah.
As you do. Gornad said that a crucial part of this routine was a quick 20-minute trip back to the room to relieve himself after the coffee before the day's adventures began. Unfortunately, though, one day they were running late to leave for a boat trip, so Gornad missed his 20-minute solo meeting with the toilet.
Oh, no. That is not good start of the day, is it?
It's not good. And I tell you what, if that happened to me, I would be screwed.
Yeah, I'm usually okay with those kind of situations. I can usually wait until I can go, and I won't go in public. So,
well, Gornad sounds like me, to be fair.
Yeah, he has to do it or he can't finish his day. Yeah,
that's it. Well, unfazed at the time, Gornad and girlfriend arrived at the boat because they were going for a boat trip that day in Corfu and floated off into the distance for a lovely romantic boat ride with just the two of them.
Right, okay.
Unfortunately, midway through the adventure, Gornad's bowels showed anger towards him for missing his toilet time.
Oh, no.
So much so that he recalled needing a poo so badly that he actually had a headache.
That's so you, James.
Yeah, I know. You'd think this is me, but it's actually not. Dealing with the situation was a must, but in the middle of the sea, which I believe they were, I think there was only one option: hang off the edge of the boat and attempt to deal with the issue.
I had a feeling that might be the case.
So picture this right now. Gornad is hanging off the edge of the boat and trying to poo underwater.
Underwater?
Yeah, waist down, he was underwater.
Oh,
They're in the
right.
middle of I think they were in a cove. They went into a cove, like a quiet cove, to do this.
I had on my mind that he was sitting on the edge of the boat, pooing off the boat.
No, I believe he was hanging onto the boat, but waist down,
But
underwater.
he was in the sea.
Sort of floating.
In the lovely waters of Corfu.
I know. So, 10 minutes later, there was no luck. The pressure of pooing off the side of a boat in the shores of Corfu was too much for Gornad. He couldn't poo. I told you
Maybe
it's a
it
long
was the
story.
salty water.
Yeah, I don't know. Bit of stage fright. I get that a lot as well. I've tried. This is similar situations I've been in. Not quite as great as this, but
Depends if he was close to his girlfriend or not. Not
Yeah.
emotionally, but physically.
I was going to say you have to be close to a girlfriend
Definitely.
emotionally. So confused how a human can need to go so badly yet still not manage while underwater, Gornad continued with the boat adventure, having come to terms with the fact that he'd have to wait for a toilet on land.
Blimey.
A little time later, they were heading back to the shore in shallow water, and Gornad jumps out of the boat. And without even realising, drops a very large bomb in his swimming shorts. The log proceeds to float out of the swimming shorts.
Oh my god.
And you know it floated on top of the water.
It floated. How unlucky is that? It's going to be a floater whilst you do it in the sea.
He described the moment to me like this: "It slipped out so easily but I barely felt it. I have no idea how that can happen."
That's amazing. Did he say whether he was wearing the kind of swimming shorts that have the netting?
Oh, that's a very good point. I don't know that. Maybe
Yeah.
not. I don't know.
I would assume it depends how tight the netting is. Obviously, that it wouldn't surpass the netting. But
Maybe it was a Primark jobby and the netting
Yeah.
had ripped. That's happened to me before.
yeah, maybe, or it's quite loose netting. So
Yeah. Well, let me get where was I? Yeah. Okay, so to make matters worse, Gornad, in a state of shock, still coming to terms with the fact he'd pooed himself, then sees his girlfriend walk right up to him, along with someone coming from inland to help with the boat. Gornad panics and flaps at the floating log in an effort to move it out of sight.
I'd do the same. I'd try and push it down like you would a float.
Yeah.
With your feet.
Luckily for Gornad, only the girlfriend noticed the poo, and they continued on to have a lovely holiday. And Gornad would like everyone to know that the moral of the story is to never mess with your morning routine wherever you are. The end.
Yeah. Oh, that was brilliant. Thank you very much, Gornad.
That was the best one. Yeah.
Yeah.
A shout out, Gornad.
Shout out, Gornad. Wow, that was
Gornad.
amazing. I don't know how we're going to top that. That might be the end of Cut Short right there.
I know, it's so good. I was crying last night when he told me that one. And apparently it was huge, like absolutely huge. And that was why he was so surprised that it just slipped out without any effort.
Yeah. Oh, that is fantastic. God. Wow. Do you reckon he's going to come on the podcast, Gornad? I think he
maybe.
should. Yeah.
Let us know, Gornad, if you want to come on.
Yeah, and then if you want to, reveal yourself to be the culprit.
Apparently, he was so embarrassed that he swore to that his girlfriend. He said to his girlfriend that not swore at his girlfriend, but he said, "You must never repeat this ever again." And then she immediately, told someone.
Brilliant.
So.
Of course you did. We must never speak of this. That is brilliant.
Very, very good.
Fantastic start of the podcast today. I'm pumped now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm really pumped about this one, and
Yeah.
I'm really pumped to not be so rubbish as I was last week. I
Same.
was terrible last week.
Yeah. We couldn't speak, could we?
We couldn't
For the
get our
life of
words
us.
out. Yeah. I don't know what a podcast does to you, but I promise you, to be fair, I can't speak in normal life anyway. So
Yeah, neither can I. Yeah, if I try and use long words, doesn't happen. If I try to use words, doesn't happen.
don't happen.
So this week we are venturing out of the UK this time, aren't we?
Whoa!
We're not even in the UK. We are so cultured. We are in Ireland. We're not far from the UK.
Indeed.
In the city and county,
Yep.
again, of Limerick.
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 In Limerick.
We're in Limerick. How are you doing?
I'm not even going to try my Irish. I'm rubbish at Irish.
Go on.
I'll just do something. Everyone will be so offended.
No, that's the whole point.
I've been Ireland to you.
How are you doing, Jamie?
How you doing?
How are you doing?
Scottish.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Now, James, have you got anything to say about Limerick?
I've just that Limerick is a city in County Limerick, as you said, located in Midwest Ireland, with a population of what in 2016, Jamie?
Oh, I didn't look at this.
Good.
I'm going to say Limerick is the fourth largest city in Ireland.
Yeah, fourth most populous city in Ireland.
Populous.
Great word that. Populous.
Populous. I'm going to say it's probably 80,000.
Ooh, hello. What have you been doing? 94,192. You're getting good. You're getting good.
That's so right, isn't it?
You little pro. You little populous pro.
I was thinking, what, Brian's like 30... Is it 30,000? 300.
I can't remember.
Can't be
no
300,000.
300,000? Is it?
No, I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know. Anyway, well, it famously produced the band The Cranberries.
Yes, indeed.
If you knew that,
I saw that, yeah.
In the 16th and 17th centuries, Limerick was often called the most beautiful city in Ireland.
Was it really?
So, can you believe that, folks? It makes me sound like I'm saying that I don't think it's nice. It actually looks really, really nice.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a bit of a boring fact, and I don't know why I said it.
And you sounded like a sarky English bloke then.
Yeah. And I've written down castle because it has a castle.
Castle. I got it was founded in the year 812. Oof, that's early, isn't it? By the Vikings. Wow.
Oh, lovely. Have you got anything else on Limerick?
I do, actually. Continuing our theme of nicknames from last week, if you remember.
I'd already forgotten.
The people of Limerick are called Shannonsiders. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but it is spelt how I said it. As in, the girl's name's Shannon.
Shannonsiders?
And Siders. And that dates back to a 1691 treaty that ended the Williamite War in Ireland between the Irish Jacobites, the Catholics, and the Williamites, the supporters of William of George from William of Orange from Holland, who was a Protestant. I don't know why the word Shannonsiders, where that comes from, but it is a nickname. And they're also called the Buttermilks, maybe because of their great buttermilk.
The Buttermilks. Whose side are you on, Jamie?
I am a big Catholic, you know that. No, you know I'm a Catholic.
You are, aren't you?
That's
if anybody knows Jamie.
I am Catholic. Largest Catholic there is. Oh, I also got that there are 10 places in the US, you probably saw this as well, also called Limerick. Did you know that?
Yes, I did see that, actually.
Yeah, which is quite interesting.
I was counting on you to get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have Limerick in Georgia, Limerick in Illinois, Limerick in Louisville, Limerick in Maine, Limerick in Mississippi, Limerick in New York, Limerick in Ohio, Limerick in South Carolina, Limerick in Township, don't know that, Limerick in Pennsylvania, Limerick Township in Pennsylvania, and New Limerick in Maine. Now, I don't know if that's interesting, but yeah.
Where was Illinois?
Illinois.
You said Illinois.
Oh, Christ. Illinois. I was thinking of that Xbox game that's French.
Maybe, to be fair, it could have come from France.
It looks like a French name, doesn't it?
Maybe we'll go there and just call it Illinois.
Illinois.
Excuse me, do you know where Illinois is?
I seem to be in Illinois. There's a town in Limerick County called Effin. Effin. Which is quite funny because you get people going, when is the effing bus coming?
Are you effing kidding me?
Effin. You effing kidding me?
Are you effing kidding me?
Is the effing bus coming?
Coming. When's the effing bus coming? When's the effing bus coming?
Bus coming?
Are you kidding me?
You're quite good at that, man. I'm rubbish.
Are you kidding me?
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Lovely.
Yeah. That's
Any
all
more?
I have on Limerick. The other day, I was actually contacted by the CIFAS. As we all know, that is the Centro de Licenciaria de las Fuerzas Armadas, the Spanish Armed Forces Intelligence Centre.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. And they asked me to pop to Limerick to infiltrate Funworld, the entertainment venue with bowling, arcades and pool tables, to interrogate the bowling shoe manager, Patrick O'Connor.
Shoe manager.
Yeah, whose name is Patrick O'Connor, of course.
Of course.
About his suspicious involvement with Brummie organised crime gang, the Burger Bar Boys.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of them?
No, but they sound like a lovely bunch of lads, but you're about to tell me they're not.
They were quite famous back in the day. But yeah, so the organised crime gang, the Burger Bar Boys, and the transportation of the Californian leaf-nosed bats from Malaga to Birmingham and Limerick.
That's so dangerous.
Yeah, and they're illegal to transport around like that.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. But I'd have to travel to Spain to get my interrogation equipment. And my current form of transport, over land and water, is a Zorb. Now, if you don't know what a Zorb is, it's one of those...
Oh, yes.
Large.
Yeah.
Are they inflatable? I don't know what they are.
Yeah, I think so.
They are inflatable. That you get inside and you roll around in. But it can go on water as well. So I can do the whole trip to Spain and then back to Limerick in a Zorb. The fastest a Zorb has gone is about 32 miles an hour. That's the fastest.
Wow. I feel like that would be impacted on water.
Yeah, just a bit. So I kind of thought about going up hills in a Zorb as well. I need to invent some kind of pulley system. But that would mean going up to the top of the hill to pull myself up, back down the hill in the Zorb, back up the
Well,
hill.
maybe you could invent some sort of I don't know, some sort of weight-based pulley system inside the Zorb that sort of generates weight on one side to help you turn.
Oh,
to sort of help you uphill while staying in the Zorb, because you don't really want to get out, do you?
No, not really, unless someone came with me and helped me. But I kind of figured that going up hills, I'd probably go no faster than 3 miles an hour, really. And if I was to invent something like that, I wouldn't be great at it, so it'd only be a 3 mile an hour job. So I did an average of 12 miles an hour, including stoppages, overnights in
nice.
At motels.
That's thoughtful of you.
Yeah. And it would take me about 223 hours to do that.
223 hours? I'd say that's worth it.
Yeah, so I said yes.
Yeah. How many days is that?
If you do the maths, which I can do really quickly for you. It's 223, isn't it? That's 9 days.
Ah, that's not bad. Well, you're so good at these segues, because that brings us again to this week's sponsor, Zorbs.org. They have kindly given us 50 grand for this week's episode for the Fact or Fiction, mainly for the Fact or Fiction section of our podcast. So thank you very much to Zorb.org, the all-in-one, all-encompassing Zorb website for all your Zorb needs. So that is zorb.org. .com.
Yeah, that's it. And they have all different types of Zorbs. Then they have Yeah, off-road
ones,
Zorbs, big ones, small
off-roads.
ones. I use the incognito Zorb, obviously, for my
And
travels.
the spy Zorb. Of course, you've got the oval Zorb as well. If you're looking for a workout,
Yeah.
that one comes with a free sick bag.
Yeah, you got the banana Zorb.
Banana Zorb. No one's ever used that one. They've never moved.
They just rock from side to side, those ones.
They've got the peach Zorb. That one's got a slight divot in the top.
You got the pineapple Zorb. That one's pretty useless.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't bother with that one.
I mean, yeah,
Quite dangerous.
We've tried most of them. So thank you so much to Zorb.org for sponsoring this week's podcast.
Yeah. And if you go onto the Zorb website and put in code Jam About Zorbs, you get 10% off your first Zorb and a free makeover of your Zorb.
Yeah, you do get. It comes with one of the many sticker kits that Zorb.org offer for your Zorb. Starting at £500. Our 10% starts at £500, which we think is quite a good deal because if you're serious about Zorbing, that's the way to go.
It is.
You're going to need to spend that much anyway.
Yeah. And I couldn't recommend them enough. I've only been spotted a few times whilst incognito.
And yeah, exactly. So, well, that's moving on from our sponsor. Well, that's funny, Jamie, because Limerick is 521 miles from Brighton. 11 hours by car, obviously including some sort of water transport.
Yeah.
19 hours by train. 5 days walk, and I've got walk in quotation marks because you're not walking across the sea, are you? Or are you?
Unless you're Jesus.
Jesus. Hey?
And Moses together.
And Moses. They're a team, aren't they? They're such a team. Do
you reckon they argue? Do you reckon they get to some water and Jesus is like, nah, man, I can walk it. And Moses, oh, come on, man, let's just part it. God, it's just so much easier just to walk across it. It's like, nah, man.
They're having an argument, and then someone comes past on a Zorb bought from Zorb.org, and it just floats straight across. And they're like, "Well, what are we arguing about?"
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And then that's where it ends. Anyway,
that's the advert for Zorb.
It's a 2-day cycle, but Jamie, to travel to Limerick from Brighton in our favourite submarine, the Triton 3300. Well, with my dodgy calculations, it would take 176 hours, 28 minutes and 16 seconds.
Oh, okay. So where are you going from?
I'm going from Brighton to Limerick, but I've added in a few extra miles to go around the coast of England.
Good plan.
Now, the Triton 3300, I believe, might be different to the Triton 3000 because the Triton 3300 can only travel at 3 knots. So it would take 176 hours, 28 minutes and 16 seconds.
Wow.
Unfortunately, though, the Triton 3300 only has a 12-hour battery life. So including in charge times and assuming you have a boat right next to you at all times ready to charge you, it would take 190 hours, 28 minutes and 16 seconds, which is 7 days and 9 hours, kinda, I think.
That's okay. Just a week, and you get to experience a sub.
Exactly. Triton, not a sponsor, but, you are our favourite submarine company, so...
Yeah, for sure. Much better than mysubmarine.com.
Yeah, mysubmarine.com. So, shout out to you.
Big shout out. Hopefully we'll get sponsored by Triton Subs. That'd be sick sponsor.
Oh my
One day.
God. For real, that would be so good.
That would be
if
amazing.
We got sponsored by Triton.
So hyped.
If anybody actually wants to type in Triton 3300 into Google, I would like to say it looks like a coffee maker, like a filter coffee jug. It doesn't, so I just thought I'd mention that.
I'll post a lovely picture of it on the Instagrams and other socials.
Ah, yes, our out of context jammies. It will be included in those.
Will be there.
Fantastic. Okay,
Fantastic.
So also Ireland is famous for many things, but one thing I have never understood, Jamie, is Gaelic football.
Yes, I think I played it once in school.
No way. Have you actually?
Yeah, our PE teacher was like, right, today we're doing Gaelic football. I don't remember anything about it, though. I think I remember holding the ball.
You would be correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like me to explain all of the rules I have right here?
Of course, yeah.
Very simple game, okay? Similar to Australian football.
Oh, just before you say that.
Oh, yeah.
Every time you say the word Gaelic, because I found out the way you actually pronounce Gaelic is garlic. Like that.
No way, really?
As in garlic.
Gaelic.
Garlic.
Alright, so Gaelic football is similar to Australian football. It's a mix between football and rugby. There's 15 players on each team, 2 30 or 35-minute halves. Literally a mix of football and rugby goals, with goalkeepers like football. 3 points for a goal past the goalie in the football goal, and 1 point for a rugby conversion type goal. You can run with the ball in your hand so long as you don't run for more than 4 steps. To continue, you must bounce the ball off your foot. That's called soloing.
It just sounds like such a cheaty, easy game.
But you can bounce the ball just on the ground, but not more than twice in a row.
Right, so you can bounce it once and then carry on 4 more steps.
So you can bounce it on the floor, and then the next time you have to bounce it off your foot. That's what the pros do, Jamie.
What about the next time?
You just go between the two.
Or do you have to pass it after that? Otherwise you just walk.
No. You can bounce it off the foot and then off the floor.
Is it contact or non-contact?
It is contact.
That makes more
like
sense. Right.
Exactly. Tackles are like rugby and football. But you can't touch the ball on the ground with your hands. And there is a yellow card, a black card, which means the player can be replaced, or a red card like football and the player cannot be replaced.
You're slowly turning into a cricket commentator at the moment.
And with these type of rules, Jamie, I have no idea how anybody ever does actually play the game, because I would be so confused about all the rules. I would be sitting there thinking, what the fuck am I doing?
Really sorry if that was annoying, but I sort of ran with it.
No, that was great.
It really flowed.
Mate, that's crazy though.
It's my new persona.
I mean, it looks fun.
It looks really good, but it's so confusing. There is so many rules. I, for real, don't know how they actually play the game. And how the ref has got to count. I know they're all pros and they all know what they're doing, but how can the ref count if you've you've run more than 4 steps without bouncing the ball on your foot?
Yeah, that must be really hard.
You actually, Craig, you bounced the ball on the floor last time. Come back a step. How did you ever play it at school?
Do you reckon they've got VAR?
The problem with VAR...
The problem with VAR in Gaelic football is... You see, Gary, the problem with VAR in Gaelic football is that you can't see how many steps they've taken.
So, that's a little bit about Gaelic football. Really...
Nice.
It looks amazing to watch, but my God, what a confusing game.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I hope they've got VAR.
I hope they have VAR. That's nice. I mean, I got a few things on the Gaelic language, the Irish language.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because it's another interesting language, much like the Welsh. It's not like the Welsh, but it's interesting like the Welsh language.
Like?
There is no yes or no in Gaelic.
What?
Yeah, they don't have a version of yes or no, apparently. So instead, if the question was, did that family really play Gaelic football in the nude? They would say they did or they didn't. They wouldn't say yes or no. It would always be they did or it did or they did.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Some English words come from Gaelic, such as brogues. Do you know what brogues means?
Shoes.
Yeah, and it comes from the Irish word brog, which means shoes, believe it or not. And
okay.
Whiskey, this is an interesting one. In Gaelic, it's pronounced Ishkabaha, or something like that. And it means the water of life.
It's essential.
It is, to the Irish people. And hooligan is also from Gaelic, and it comes from an old Irish family name, O'Houlihan. I think that's how they say it.
Oh, hula! That sounds like a national anthem.
It does. You're singing that song from Dirty Dancing.
Oh, man, my darling. Last time I sing that one.
Or is that Ghost? It's Ghost.
No idea, but that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And I really love that whiskey's essential.
It is. It's the essential water of life.
For some reason in this section, I'm always handed food, which is amazing.
That is great.
That was why I didn't really talk much. I was handed some food. Okay, so as we're in Limerick this week, the Wilkie Sun,
Yeah.
I thought we should talk about limericks, and I've stolen your intro.
You have, but that's okay because I wasn't quick enough. So a limerick is a type of humorous verse of 5 lines with an AABBA rhyme scheme. The poem's connection with the city is obscure, but the name is generally taken to be a reference to Limerick City or County Limerick. It may derive from an earlier form of nonsense verse parlour game that traditionally included a refrain, "Will or won't you come up to Limerick?"
I was really hoping you would say AABBA is ABBA.
Abba. Abba.
A humorous verse of 5 lines with an ABBA rhyme scheme.
Take a chance.
Okay. Would you like to hear my limerick?
I'd love to hear yours, yes.
We've both written a limerick.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Caitlin was a huge help with this one because I knew I wanted to say the words pooing and cross-country canoeing.
Oh, yes.
But, here we go. So,
Okay.
try not to mess up my words here. There once was a guy named Jerry. He came from Londonderry.
Oof.
He really loved pooing whilst cross-country canoeing. Most people avoided Jerry.
That's very nice. That's very good. I like that.
Shall I try it in Irish?
Yeah.
There once was a guy named Jerry. He came from Londonderry. He really loved pooing whilst cross-country canoeing. Oh my God, I've got American. Most people avoided Jerry.
Oh, that was very nice. I like that you got cross-country canoeing and other references to the podcast in there.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't. But my one involves a man called Gilly.
Oh, nice.
I wonder who that is.
If anybody doesn't know, at school I was known as Gilly.
Indeed.
I went to college after school and I said to everyone that I am known as Gilly, and they went, "I don't like that," and it died there. But I still like it.
That's just like mine. I used to like being called Wilkie, so I used to say, "Oh yeah, just call me Wilkie," but everyone called me Wilco, and Wilco didn't have the same ring to it.
It's the cheap brand, the cheap store in England.
Yeah, it sounds like a cereal brand. You know.
Did you have a Wilkinsons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a Wilkinsons. Yeah. I own it. This is my limerick. There was a young man named Gilly. He was known to be rather damn silly. He fell on his butt and squished his nuts. Now all he has is a willy.
Yes! Oh. Wow. Oh my God. I had to Google what a limerick was again because I actually forgot.
Yeah, same. I thought it was more complex than that.
Yeah, so did I. I was like, AABBA rhyme scheme. Oh, that sounds so complicated.
I hope you
really
enjoyed
good.
our lovely limericks. Be sure to send them to your local council so they can be put up in all the local newsletters everywhere.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Man, I'm sweating in this room. It's so hot. Jesus. So, James, next it is...
on.
So-
Yeah.
Fact or fiction? This is a section where James and myself come up with either a fact or a fictional fact about the town we are talking about. However, if one of us has the same fact as the other, there's a £5 forfeit.
That's it, folks. That's
it. That's
Right.
it.
Who did you like the take it in turns approach, or did you like one person's fact or fictions all at once?
I quite like to take it in turns because I think it made the forfeit a bit more scary.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. Let's listen to what the audience thinks before we move on. 1 second. Christ, you're really angry. There's a lot of booze there.
Jesus, man.
Someone threw a rock at me.
Didn't realise it was that controversial.
Christ, calm down, guys.
Good heavens.
Wow.
Well, we'll do it. We'll take turns this
Okay.
time.
Who's going to go first?
I'll go first.
Fine.
Fine then. Grass being cut in Limerick in February. Fact or fiction?
No, I know what you've done here. Last week, I had a lot of mundane ones. We went on a walk, didn't we? We forgot we went on a walk. And he said, I'm not very happy with your mundane ones. So he's gone and stolen my mundane one. Say it again.
Grass being cut in Limerick in February. Let me give you a little bit more,
Thank you.
but not a lot. There was a quote from someone that lives in Limerick who was shocked that there was grass being cut. It is only the second week in February, but already some Limerick farmers are cutting grass.
Wait, so some people don't cut... I mean, you don't cut it much in winter, but you can cut your grass in winter.
I mean, you can, but it's just not the preferred time, isn't it? I don't know.
Yes.
I wouldn't know, really.
We wouldn't know in our one-bed flats, would we? Overpriced Brighton one-bed flats.
Exactly, I can cut my hair.
Where are you going with that? You're on fire, mate. Okay. This is fact.
Yes, it's fact, yeah. This is true. Grass
Yay!
was being cut in Limerick in February. Would you believe that?
You've heard it here first, folks. If you hadn't listened to this today, press play on this little podcast.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have known that grass is being cut in Limerick.
Or it was
It was.
in February.
Great.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! Give me your first one, James.
Okay, before we go on, you need to know something about Ireland. I believe the Irish police are called the Garda.
What, like Italy?
Guardia.
Guardian.
I
That's similar
believe.
to Italy.
I hope I'm not really wrong, and I believe they're called the Guardia.
Okay, that's cool.
So, 50 arrested as Guardia and SWAT team break up illegal lockdown mass. So they needed mass so badly.
Mass.
And they needed a SWAT team. Fact or fiction, Jamie?
Oh, fact. That sounds like a classic Limerick thing to do.
It's the most Irish thing ever, right?
It is, yeah. No question.
The Wilkie son.
Yeah.
This is fact.
Oh, happy days.
Oh,
happy days.
Oh, that's not Irish.
That's fucking great.
Oh, it's so lovely.
Oh,
That's so lovely. That's absolutely great.
That's great.
Your number 2, please, Jamie.
My number 2 is a Limerick man with a shoe fetish stole 126 pairs of flip-flops to have sexual intercourse with them. He allegedly told officers that after several hours of wearing the flip-flops, he cuddled and kissed them, stripping off and rubbing them on his body before having sex with them.
So this is sort of in the same vein as last week's... Was it a cockroach that man was in love with?
Yeah, it was the cockroach, yeah.
So, you know the term fapping?
Yeah.
Could he say he's flopping?
Or flop fapping.
Flop fapping. Oh, brilliant. Shout out to you flop flappers out there. Well,
what do you reckon?
You tug on my heartstrings with these ones, Jamie. You really do, because I just want this so badly to be true. It's very you, though. It's very you. I'm going to say fiction.
Yes, fiction. But this did happen in Thailand.
Oh my God. Where did the one last week happen?
Vietnam, I think.
Vietnam. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's great, isn't it?
That's
This
great.
bloke, he's living his life. I think he got arrested just for the stealing of the flip-flops.
All right. So I mean, they don't care what you do with them.
No, you can do whatever you want with a flip-flop.
Yeah.
That's totally down
to
to you.
Did they swarm in with a SWAT team or a flop team?
A flop.
A flop flapping team and go, you're under arrest. What are you doing with those?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this person's name was Clayer. And he would wear them around his home as it turned him on. That's quite nice, isn't it? He's wearing them around the home.
I mean, that's easily pleased, I gotta say.
Yeah, easily pleased. If that's what does it for you, then you're not harming nobody apart from the stealing them.
Who are we to judge? Apart from we will judge your stealing.
We will, yeah, to make the podcast a bit funnier. Your next one, please, James.
Well, there's only one thing. What's their name again?
Clayer.
There's only one thing we have to say to Claire, isn't there, Jamie?
Oh, there is.
Shout out Claire! Shout out to you if you're listening.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Fantastic. Okay, what am I on number 2? We're back with the Guardia. I really hope they are the that's how you say it. Guardia. The Guardia. The Guardia. The Guardia arrest 7-year-old girl for breaking lockdown restrictions to feed the ducks. Actually arrested her.
Arrested? Ow.
A 7-year-old girl for breaking lockdown restrictions with her nan to feed the ducks.
Did the nan get arrested as well?
I believe they both were arrested.
They were both arrested. God. When was this? How long? How many days ago? Weeks ago? Do you know?
I'm unaware.
Not that makes any difference because I don't know Ireland's lockdown rules. I'm gonna say fiction.
Wilkie son, this is fact.
Oh, damn!
A 7-year-old girl was arrested in Limerick for breaking lockdown restrictions to feed the ducks with her nan.
Oh no!
Brutal, absolutely brutal. They proved a point. They got her.
Yeah, they got that 7-year-old.
Excuse me, ma'am. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. What were you doing out here? Feeding the ducks.
You're meant to be using wholemeal bread.
You do realise that this inflates the duck's stomach. It's very dangerous. Okay, Jamie.
Okay.
You're number 3?
Number 3.
Number 3, please.
In 2014. Oh, I'm not going to bother doing the Irish accent. A bus full of potatoes drove around the city.
Oh, come on!
There were rumours of a potato famine. These potatoes were accompanied by a giant granny puppet.
What?
Giant puppet of an old woman.
Sorry, I'm trying to picture this in my head. I've been to Dublin before, so when I'm thinking of Ireland, all I think of is one road in Dublin. And I'm imagining a lorry driving past full of potatoes with a granny. Explain.
No, it was a bus full of potatoes.
Why a bus? Why did the bus have potatoes?
Bus was full of potatoes. The potato famine thing is not true. I can tell you that. Because there isn't a potato famine.
Why did you... What?
But these potatoes are accompanied by a giant puppet of a granny.
In the bus?
No, they're just walking down the street. I think they had like probably 50 to 70 people controlling the big puppet. And the big puppet stayed in Limerick for a few days and slept on a giant bed.
Okay, this one is so... I'm still confused by it, so I'm going to go with... It's just so far-fetched that I think it's fact.
You're really good at these. That happened, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why there was a bus full of potatoes. Maybe it was just a celebration of the potato, because the Irish love their potatoes. And the giant puppet was some French artist that does like giant puppets. But it was massive. I'm talking like not far off the size of my flat. Like the height of my flat. The height of my flat. Wow.
Yeah. Well, shout out to her.
Yeah, big shout out to Big Puppet Granny.
Big Puppet Granny.
Big Puppet Granny.
Yeah, we salute you.
We salute you, yeah. James?
So, bear in mind that I have a fourth. Just bear that in mind, okay?
Okay.
So, an Irish fiddle player made €146,000 in one night in a small bar in Limerick when an English stag party of millionaires pitched up for the night and got extremely drunk. Would you like any more context?
Yes, please.
They played a game of so-called How High, seeing how high each other could tip the fiddle player. And apparently the group got kicked out several times, but found their way back in after paying off almost every member of staff, including the bouncers and the owners of the bar.
Right.
So they basically paid their way to stay the entire evening, and the fiddle player of the night walked away with 146 grand at the end of the night.
Oh my word. And I bet he was, much like us, a poor musician as well.
Yes.
So
it was a she as well.
Oh, so that's a night, isn't it? She did very well. I'm jealous.
Can you imagine? Imagine like your taxes, doing your taxes one year and then doing them the next year, and they're like, hang on, you earned 146 150.
Bloody hell. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, for sure.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer. Fact.
The Wilkie Sun. That is fiction.
Whoa, you're getting so good at fooling me, because that one was so in between, like, absurd and mundane.
Yeah, I know. I try. Well, the thing was, Limerick. I couldn't find too much in you, Limerick. I couldn't find much of you in you, and I don't have a fourth. I just said I had a fourth to fool you, because otherwise you would have thought I had 2 facts and 1 lie. So I said I had a fourth, so you thought my lie was coming up. Clever,
right,
eh?
I see. Very clever, yeah.
All the mental games. I take this seriously.
You do, yeah. Unlike me, and I come up with stupid shit, and you know it's fiction straight away.
But I did see a fiddle player when I went to Dublin. I've mentioned this twice now. I have been travelling, guys. I went to Dublin once.
Yes! Sorry, that probably sounded really sarcastic. But I'm actually genuinely happy.
I'll try and come up with weirder ones next week. Apologies.
So, it's time for the largest car park.
This is the largest car park.
Yes. Yes, I'm ready, Limerick. Bring on the largest car park in Limerick. And I really hope that the sort of like the T's and C's in the car park are written as a limerick in Limerick.
Yeah, I can tell you that they are. Today, the prize is an Ormic 10-ton lift and carry mobile crane worth £6,500.
How high?
I don't think it's massive. I'm just sending it to you now. You can see it's pretty good. It's not like your massive crane, your big crane. It's like it's a small crane.
When you said lift and carry, I thought it was a crane you could pick up.
Or like a little toy crane.
No, I was imagining like an actual functional crane that you could like. That was so light. It was like sort of the size, sort of like the height of a house, but it was so light that you could pick it up.
That would be crazy. It wouldn't be able to do its crane duties if it was that light.
Well, you will find this photo in the No Context Jammies, which are a series of photos with no context, but if you listen to the podcast, there's your context, on our Instagram, and you'll see this very crane on there.
Yeah.
And if I get this correct, I will, seriously will be winning this crane.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'll put it, but I will be winning this. And again, thanks to Zorb.org, our sponsor of this week's podcast, for making this possible.
Exactly. So, James Gilligan. The largest car park in Limerick is Crescent Shopping Centre car park.
No.
It has outdoor and possibly indoor parking.
Oh, come on.
I couldn't see.
Oh. Are you kidding me? So what's Parkopedia doing? This is literally their job.
I have to do more research than Parkopedia can give me, usually.
Right. So say it again.
Crescent Shopping Centre is the largest car park in Limerick. It has outdoor parking and possibly indoor parking.
Okay, so Crescent Shopping Centre in Limerick has a total of 750 spaces, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
No! No! I was really confident,
Really?
I could see the fear in your eyes.
No. 1,500 spaces, I'm afraid.
I forget how big Ireland is.
I actually really worry when the spaces are an even number. Like an even round number, like 1,500. Yeah. I'm like, God, he could just guess that.
It's very possible.
Like when it was 2,000 and Caitlin said 2,000, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. 1,200. No, so you didn't get it right today. You do not win the Ormic 10-ton lift and carry mobile crane worth £6,500. I will be sending it back to the owner. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, I will buy myself an actual portable crane that I can pick up myself.
Good luck finding one of them out on the street.
Oh, very, very, very good. We find ourselves, good people, in the final section of our podcast called Quick Weirds. Weirds, for anyone that hasn't listened before, is a section nothing to do with our town of Limerick this week. It is just a series of news articles which we say very, very quickly, and then we each get to choose one at the end to elaborate on from each other's Quick Weirds. Who's going to go first this week?
How many have you got?
I have got 4 Quick Weirds.
So have I.
It's like we planned it.
It is. I'll go first, as I have the choice.
Should we go really quick this week?
Yeah, okay. And go. Woman named Marijuana Pepsi who refused to change her name.
Man shoots armadillo, hits mother-in-law next door.
Boy takes books in microwave after school bans bags.
Winner of French Scrabble Championship does not speak French.
Macaulay Culkin to legally change his middle name to Macaulay Culkin.
Snake swallows salad tongs.
Woman boards flight to find her seat assignment is in the plane's lavatory.
Weird taxidermy. Artist inflated animals into colourful balloons.
Hey!
That's the best one yet.
That was a good one, that one. Yeah.
Shout out to you and you and you.
And you. Shout
And
out
you.
to Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, yes. Right, I have seen the boy that carries his books in a microwave before, I'm afraid. I have seen this story.
Damn it.
They banned something in his school. I can't remember what it was, but they banned something.
Was it drawstring bags or something like that?
I can't remember. Maybe it was maybe it was I don't know. Maybe backpack, something weird like that. And so he brought his books into school in a microwave.
Yeah.
As, sort of to make a stand. I'm trying to think of some of your other ones. What was your favourite?
My favourite. I mean, I quite liked the Macaulay Culkin one, but I don't know if it's serious and it's very short. But basically, he asked Twitter what he should change his middle name to. And everyone on Twitter said you should change your middle name legally to Macaulay Culkin. So his name, I don't know if he's done it. It would be great if he did. His full name would be Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
Say that quicker.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin. Also, shout out to Joe Lycett, good friend of ours.
good friend of ours, Joe Lycett.
Who legally changed his name to Hugo Boss.
Yeah, that was
take the
great.
piss out of Hugo Boss.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. What ones did you have again? I never remember yours after
yeah,
you
it's
say
hard,
them all.
isn't it? That's the flaw with this section.
It
Man
is.
shoots armadillo, hits mother-in-law next door. That was quite good.
Mm-hmm.
The weird taxidermy where an artist inflated animals into colourful balloons is fucking horrendous.
Tell me about that. That sounds very...
That is horrendous.
Sounds very vegan. Ding, ding. Got so close to the end. So close to the end.
We almost made it. Yeah, it's really good. I feel like you got that written down on your sheet.
Actually, I don't, but I will do now. Right now.
Oh,
I'll put it in big bold letters at the top. Vegan.
This one is honestly disgusting.
Oh, no.
Art is an outlet of the mind to aid in sharing the stream of conscious of your soul and inner self. The work of an artist creates a way for them to speak through objects over words. Okay, yes, but please don't blow up killed animals to balloons. It's disgusting.
So grim.
Artist Yang Mayoan, I feel I've nailed that, is highly regarded in his original ideas and exotic art pieces. Mayoan is a Chinese artist and uses the skins of dead animals as a medium to work with. By inflating the skins to monstrous sizes, and I mean monstrous sizes, there's a horse on here, and it is like an exercise ball times 2, but actually just a horse that's been... anyway.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mayoan creates work that stands out among the rest. No
shit,
I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe the people can maybe Google that one themselves to see that one. I'm not sure we'll put that on the Instagram.
No.
And then just remember that a snake swallowed salad tongs. That's quite funny. I quite like that.
Yeah.
And just remember that, guys. Snakes can swallow salad tongs.
Wow.
And how many ways are there to cook an egg?
There are 100 ways to cook an egg. Do you want me to read out some of the different ways you can cook an egg?
Yeah. Say them as quick as possible, okay?
This isn't 100 here, but I'll say however many are here. There's only like 7, 8. Eggs can be boiled, scrambled, poached, baked, basted, fried, sheared, coddled, pickled.
Sheared?
Or shired.
Talk me through how you shear an egg.
But wait, there's more. Not only can you scramble, fry, or poach an egg, but you can bake or boil it. Have you ever baked an egg? Before your vegan days?
Never baked an egg before the ding days.
Have you boiled an egg? I've boiled an egg.
Yes.
Have you scrambled an egg?
What are we doing? I've never sheared an egg.
If you like to send in, not how you prefer your eggs, but if you've done your eggs in any different ways, please let us know. I'd love to know. Because maybe there's 101 ways to cook an egg, you know?
That sounds like a great film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 101 ways to cook an egg.
Also, I'd just like to mention, we went on a socially distanced walk the other day, didn't we? Because we do these via Skype.
Yeah.
Just so you're not worried, people. You know. We went for a socially distanced walk, and we were talking about like imagining if we made merch, and we could do the standards. We could do your standard T-shirts. We could even do a mug. Crazy. We could even do, I don't know, socks. But we've always had a jokey idea of making jam.
Yeah, we would really love to make jam, and I was really inspired when we went on that walk and we spoke about what jams we could do. We could do like lovely gin jams, strawberry gin, and I actually made a few. I didn't made a few. I had an idea. I didn't made a few. This is what the podcast does to my speech. Honestly.
Have you made jam yet?
No, I need to buy the strawberries. You need to buy quite a lot of strawberries to make jam. You need like a kilo.
Buy them frozen.
That's an idea, isn't it? Actually.
But if you, the listener, if enough of you want Jam About Town jam, we somehow might make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably do the first batch off my own back with my own money. But we'll need some extra money to come in. If people want to buy the jam, please buy the jam for extortionate prices.
If you want £100 jam, let us know. But for serious, we might do some merch in the future.
Yeah.
Let us know.
I will do jam as well. I had some interesting ideas for jam, and I can't find them, which is great.
Great.
But yeah, gin jams. I'm down with it.
Gin jams.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Jim jams. Gin jam.
Jam about gin jams.
Jam about gin jams. We have been Jamie Wilkinson and
I've been Jamie Wilkinson. And thank you very much for joining us on our wonderful adventure through Limerick. Next week, we may have a special guest on the show.
We might have a special guest, and you might have heard of him before.
Yeah.
From the podcast. He's not really famous. Famous to us. Famous to you if you've listened to the podcast.
Exactly. He's a good lad.
He's a good lad.
But you'll have to wait until next week.
Until next week, because this next week will be our 10th episode special. Can you believe that?
10 episodes? Oh, my word. That's 10 hours, mate.
Well, more than 10 hours.
Oh, yeah. About 15 hours.
But yes, that will be our special episode. So hopefully you look forward to that. And I hope you've enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah.
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 Bye-bye.
Hey.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you now. Don't walk out the door.
Good.
I can't sing that. It's copyright.
Because it's copyright.
Copyright. Gonna get me with that copyright strike. Copyright strike. Give me that copyright strike.
Copyright.
Walking out the door, copyright.
I can't do it.
Bye.
Bye.